Hello and welcome to the People and Passions podcast. My name is Brendan. This is the third episode of the podcast. This video was actually shot way back in December, I think it was, or maybe slightly before then. But due to holiday season and whatnot, it kind of got a little bit difficult to try and book out some editing time to try and get it all together and sounding good. But anyway, here's the third episode. Hope you like it. Enjoy. Would you kindly introduce yourselves and what is that you're currently doing?
My name is Eddie.
And I'm Lam.
And we run Australian Cinematography alongside with Australian Models.
Cool. And how long has that been in production for, or what years? How long has it been?
I would say roughly probably 3-4 years right now.
We started the AC, Australian Cinematography, about 4 years ago, and then Australian Models was 2019?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's so that's been 2 years.
Yeah, COVID's been a bit slow on that one.
Yeah.
But we're hustling. We're hustling now.
Yeah. How has COVID affected your business? Is it going all right, or are you trying to find ways around it?
To put it shortly, no. It's put the whole media industry, the arts industry, and down the drain, I guess. Well, a lot of people have been trying to do things digitally online, and that's been keeping some people alive with digital art and that sort of thing, with NFTs coming around. But in regards to the media industry, especially in Melbourne, not being able to record or go out on shoots or even do anything out
outside of your house,
literally.
With
a camera.
So it's been very hard to try and get people to do things. But we've found ways in a sense. But because we don't want to stop, and we thought let's just backlog content. So we stopped posting on socials for the meantime. And we thought we'd just get it really ready. So as you know, we did launch Australian Models, but obviously we weren't expecting to be in a lockdown over in and out over a period of 2 years. So we've done the best that we can throughout that time, but for now, as we're just coming back out again, and this could be it, hopefully, who knows?
We hope, yeah.
Yeah, and so now we're hustling hard again. In the meantime, we do have other jobs that we do because obviously we don't want to be on the street. We have to make an income. That's kind of what has happened since, lockdowns.
So how did you both get involved with each other? Who was the person that said, let's get together, let's make this thing happen? How did that first conversation start?
I actually think that was you. I actually think it was. So, in the sense, I'd met you, but you were the one who was interested in being a part of it.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
the business side of things.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. So technically, I think it was you.
How I remember it was when Liam had those cameras with his cousin at the restaurant 4 years ago. We were hosting the restaurant. We were hosting an opening night because I was relaunching the business and under a new brand and all of that. So I messaged Liam and I was like, do you guys want to record the restaurant? And I had a vision of how I wanted it recorded and all of that. So that kind of sparked my interest in media and, what goes into the work that goes into, producing a video and all the shots and everything. And then I think it was about a year later or a few months later when Liam approached me at my day job, and he just messaged me and he goes, hey, I've got some exciting news. And then he met me on my lunch break.
I'm trying to remember this.
Yeah, you met me on my lunch break and you're like, I really want to get this agency national. I want to get it all over Australia. And I think you're the guy to help me and do that, in the business sense. And then I said, yes, I'm very interested.
How do I not remember this? Wow.
You met me outside on Burke Street in the city.
No, that sounds right. Because I did used to catch up with you. I just don't remember the convo. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so it was me.
Yeah.
I always thought it was you because you were just interested. You were like, what you do is pretty cool kind of thing.
Yeah.
And oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all learned something now, didn't we? So, okay. Well, there's your answer.
Yeah. And I
awesome.
always saw an opportunity to help the media industry grow. So developing something that's an agency that's going to be nationwide to help all creatives get involved, and I was all in.
Yeah, so it was to not shut off opportunities to creatives who don't get the ability or the chance to do certain projects or jobs that they've always wanted to do.
Yeah. So what is the vision for the company then? Do you have a strategy in place where you see it going?
That's it. No, we do.
I realize
some of it we reveal, some of it we don't. This is just based on the principle of potentially as we expand into other industries. Obviously, there's a lot of legal background with that, and we don't want people obviously taking names and all that kind of stuff. So we do have to be kind of careful. But the idea is to like become a household name. We want to be known in Australia as this is the place you go to for any kind of service. In a sense, a one-stop shop. And in that meantime, like we've been working out how to do a lot of that kind of stuff. But
so there's the vision for the company was obviously to get as many creatives out there and expand, as far as we could to get this industry going. And as we realized, 2 years into the business that, the modeling part of things was a major part of this creative industry. So that's why we saw the opportunity to go in the modeling industry too. So
because we've had lots of clients ask us, can we provide models? And we're just like, we're not a modeling agency. So we saw, well, that's another opportunity to make more money if we just do it ourselves. So that's kind of how.
And also expand the the creative vision in terms of, in the industry of modeling too. So hopefully, as we continue to grow, we'll be growing in further industries as well. Getting more and more creatives out there and earning a fair wage, as you know.
Yeah, I see that because it's interesting that you're going from just being just a media company now to also being somewhat of a talent agency as well. You're creating sort of bridges or connections with people that you wouldn't normally have before, and that's kind of cool. So what work have you guys done at the moment? Obviously you can't at the moment, but what cool shit have you actually done at the moment?
Where do you want to start?
Cool shit. Sorry. Yeah, there's just so much cool things. I'm just trying to backtrack in my head here.
That's right.
When we could actually live, Jesus.
Yeah, well,
I'd say the private jet one was one of the top for me personally.
Yeah, same.
So that was really cool opportunity that we got to do. We got to work with Lamborghini Melbourne, the Hyatt Hotel, and a private jet company just for their advert. And that was really, really insane because that was the first time where we actually were like, oh, this is like a proper company, like a proper business. And we were just like, this is like, we could actually see the vision come to life. And I think that was so surreal for us. Being on set, the amount of contracts we had to sign was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'd say that was pretty up there. Did you have any others?
Yeah, no, the jet shoot, we did that a couple of times as well. And that was the most exciting thing, I think, especially that's where the modeling side of things really kicked off as well, because
it was,
that's where we had to really gather as many people as we could, and not only just as many people, but good talent, quality talent as well. And that's where we had our first taste of recruiting models for a video shoot. So,
which your experience with that was really out there, because he just started messaging girls on Instagram asking. What else do you do when we don't know?
Originally we didn't have the Australian Models brand, so it was just Australian Cinematography, and we were messaging through there. So when girls would see the message, they were just like, who are you? Why are you talking to me about private jets, about Lamborghinis, and doing a video? I don't know who you are. So there was a bit of...
That does come across a bit far-fetched, I will say.
And we so the talent that we're recruiting, we did screen them for a while, and when we finally reached out, some of the responses weren't what we expected, but looking at it from their perspective, it is kind of weird having a random media page reach out to you and ask you to model with jets and Lamborghinis, so it did sound a bit far-fetched to me.
But since then we've actually kept one of those models on with Australian Models and Jess. Yeah. And we actually, she went through to Miss Universe. She ended up in state finals, and she did very, very well with that. So was really proud of her on doing that.
Going back to those, the jet and the Lamborghini, how do you get access to that stuff? I've always wondered, how does someone get a car? Is there a rental house you go through, or what? How does that even happen?
Really just, this is where networking came in for us. Me and Liam are big on networking, and that's,
huge.
A major part of growing a business. is just being able to get out there, whether it's digitally or personally, and reaching out and creating new connections, especially finding a creative way to make those connections. So, for example, on Instagram and Facebook, and always being in touch with community groups and all that sort of thing. So, being a part of things like car groups and, things like that, we were always able to keep in touch with people who are involved with these sort of things. And then, the opportunities just arose, as time went on, as we developed our relationships with these people. The opportunities just become available as you network further and further into the industry.
That's cool. That's cool shit.
Yeah.
So, like, what was the challenge with, like, actually building this company? Like, did you sort of structure it? How did you structure it?
Okay, so the challenges are pretty difficult, to be honest, because you come from learning basically nothing to trying to learn everything, and like it's so overwhelming, I would say. And that's why we have to delegate roles on that sense, because like it's too much for one person to handle, especially if you want to go Australia wide. Like it's just too much responsibility. I know that we've done a lot of sourcing for like marketing people. Now we're looking at sales reps.
Yeah.
He does the finances. I do more of the legal stuff. But
delegating roles was a major part of things.
Yeah.
And also not being afraid to reach out to people for help. So whether it was outsourcing, like Liam said, to get people to help with the website, people to help with marketing, people to help with getting the contracts written up. That's a big thing in growing a business, is just having the confidence in other people and in their skills. Because eventually at the end of the day, it's really, really difficult to do everything yourself. And we always go in there with an ego, saying that I'm going to do this business myself. I want to be my own boss and take care of everything. Yes, you can be your own boss, but at the end of the day, you have to be willing to trust in other people and in their skills to help you to grow. So, I think that was something that Liam helped me realize, because I was that person who always wanted to do everything myself. I felt like, I was always capable of whatever task it was, but then time became an issue. Executing things with deadlines, coming around the corner, it was very difficult to keep up for someone who was full-time at uni at the same time. Trying to have a day job to obviously fund the business. So, being able to be open-minded and allow people to help you out was a major thing in growing a business.
Yeah, I do truly believe that I don't think you could really grow a successful business, like a big successful business, on your own, like ever. I just feel like, because you need employees, you just need the staff, and like you need to have that trust with them that they won't screw you over. And we've never had that problem, to be honest, because we've treated everyone pretty fairly in this, and our contracts are like really thorough in the sense that like everyone agrees with them, they understand all the terms and conditions, and we just get on with it, and everyone's happy, everyone gets paid well, and
Yeah.
All right, so what would be your mission statement then? What would you say if you had to say to someone, this is what my business is, this is how I do it, in a couple sentences, what would your mission statement be?
No.
It's a bit wordy, but
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so it's professional, punctual, prestige.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of just, I guess, what is that called anyway? Like when you have like 3 Ps? It's on Nanogram, is it?
It's
like I don't know. But like, it's just professional, punctual, prestige, and I liked it because like it does represent the media industry very well, because you do need to show up, you need to be punctual, like you want the prestigious kind of like editing, and then the professionalism of the whole thorough process of like when you first meet a client to the final product. And that's what we really wanted to be like stand for, in a sense.
There's a lot of confusion in the media industry. A lot of the common client issues that we found when taking on new clients was that they've had previous issues with their media people because of communication issues, timing issues, and overall, when you put those two things together, your professionalism is pretty much non-existent. So that's where those 3 Ps came from. Building our business that has a structure to be able to deliver just ultimate customer satisfaction, because at the end of the day, that's what you're in business for, to provide the customers with the ultimate satisfaction. So if you've got a process set in place to be able to execute that, within your creatives, within the company itself, and with the communication that you've got with the client, then you've got what you need in a business, which is making the client happy, getting paid well for it, and being proud in what you've accomplished as well.
Yeah, and we like to do fast turnarounds, just for the clients so that they're happy. But like, obviously there's exceptions such as weddings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, so going back to your expansion, you said you sort of briefly touched on it. You're looking to expand into different states, and you're trying to get like sales reps and that sort of thing. I mean, how long does that stuff take to plan and organize?
A few months at least. Takes a while. Not gonna lie, business is draining physically, mentally, and really emotionally most of the time, honestly, because of you encounter brick walls, you encounter hurdles and all the above. So being able to stay on point and stay driven is really part of that development process. With the ability to expand, it's like I said before, reaching out to people to help that happen is a major thing, especially during these times of COVID as well. We're not being able to travel interstate. Just continuing our relationship with our creatives who are already interstate is a major thing for us. So we've always got work coming in through them, and they respect the company enough to be able to trust in us, to be able to help them use our brand as their professional image.
And so I think one thing you need to have, especially as you expand, is patience. You need to have it. Like, if you don't have it and you're just like trying to rush everything, you'll fuck up a lot of shit. Like you will. It'll just look like garbage. It'll come out so bad. But that's why you do have to have patience, and you need a good support network, which is kind of what you were saying. Yeah, you do, because you need to rely on others to be able to help you out and like take loads off you so that you're less stressed, so that you can focus on things. But we do have structures put in place so we know what has to be done step by step, and we do make quarterly meetings so that we can meet and like discuss these kind of things, so that our so it's all efficient.
Like, how do you guys keep going? Like do you guys actually like sleep at all, or like what keeps you going? Like, how do you get up in the morning and say, I'm going to work in the business?
Yeah, no.
Like, how does that happen?
The good thing about this business, with work, with the day job, it's very easy to quit because it's boring. It's long hours. It's not fun at all. It's a job that just to get your money and pay the bills, right? But once you've started a business that you're passionate about growing, it just comes naturally. Like, I just don't want to sleep because I want to get the work done. Like, it just doesn't feel right that I've got work incomplete, or things that I can prepare for the next day to help the business grow in some sort of sense, or whatever it is. There's just always drive when you're passionate about something.
So like a lot of the time we don't sleep. We're always messaging each other at ridiculous times. Sorry. But like it's just one of those things where you just, once you're passionate, nothing will stop you. You just keep going, because it's like your baby. You love it to death, and you just want to see it like grow and be protected, and just you want to see it blossom into this big, beautiful thing.
So what advice would you give to someone who's trying to like start a business and has like this crazy idea of like trying to make something happen?
Don't do it. No.
Okay.
I would say just... what would I say? I don't know. Oh man, I don't even know how to start that. I think the Australian government makes it really simple to set up a business, really simple to register an ABN, really simple to like go out there, make social profiles of it, like get someone to design a logo or whatever it is. I think the process is so simple that people don't realize how much back-end housework there is to push a business. And that's where we've spent thousands upon thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars on marketing. And like, you live and learn from those kind of mistakes. But yeah, so I think make sure you do your research and make sure you have a proper team that'll support you in your business and the vision of it, so that it will grow. And make sure, actually, one thing I will say is backlog content. That is one mistake we did make, is any startup business, make sure you invest in content, because that's the only thing that's going to be pushing your business.
Well, that's basically what I'm doing with this podcast. Like before, I don't even have my first episode out right now. And I've been slowly sort of just gathering interviews here and there. And then my goal with this content is then to cut it down to smaller bite-sized pieces to put into like Instagram Reels or a piece on LinkedIn or something like that, just so that it's all sort of coming back into the podcast sort of thing. And that's kind of where my initial idea was for it. And yeah, so I completely understand what you're talking about there with the backlogging of content.
100%. And yeah, back to your question about, what would you advise someone? I think is just, like you said, getting that content ready, and then also just getting started, getting into it, because like Liam said, there's so much, the process to start a business is so simplified that a lot of people get confused because of its simplicity, or because of they're not sure where to go or where to start. But if you simply just Google how to start a business in Australia, it's really, really simple. And I think the major thing that paralyzes people is the fear of judgment, fear of failure, and all of that comes with it. So just getting started and being ready to accept all of that negativity that surrounds it, all of the judgment that surrounds it. You just got to be ready to accept that, and then just go head first into it. Get started, make a list of what you need to get done, and then piece it together and officially launch. Because you need to have things in place before you can launch. You need to have your processes set up. You need to have your content there. You need to have your contracts written up, and all the back end work, like Liam said, that all needs to be prepared before you can officially launch. So, but getting started ASAP is probably the best idea. And then, if you encounter challenges during the process that you provide for your clients, you just revise and repeat that process for the next client.
Yep. Is your camera still all right, or you got to?
Yeah, it's still fine. I think it's on 24 minutes. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Good reminder.
So I was keeping track of that. I was like, it's about. Okay, cool. Because we're pretty much close to the end, so we're not too far. So if you had, okay, all good to start again. Okay, cool. All right. So if you had to start all of this again, like what would you do differently?
Not waste as much money on marketing.
Yeah.
I would say that's because I don't know, like we just spent so much money doing it, testing ads, running them, to realize that in this industry it's too hard. Sorry, especially when you're expanding into so many industries like birthdays, weddings, commercial, real estate, everything. Like when you put something out there, are you going to hit that target audience? Like that is so minimal. You might as well just go direct to those places, and then just be like, this is what we offer, kind of thing. So like, I'd rather just go face to face than instead of invested in online marketing.
Yeah. So it's probably one of the second last questions I'll ask. So can you tell our listeners what the hardest thing about building a business and what tips you would have had for people out there?
Are you talking about just starting a business from scratch, or? Yeah, I think one of the most challenging things is facing adversity, because when you start a business, you've got a whole bunch of motivation behind you. Usually, that's what happens when you're starting a business, and that motivation is built up, and you're ready to go. You start doing your research on how to start it. You gather as much content as you can, et cetera, to get the business going, and then once you actually start getting out there, you just start getting adversity from your friends and family telling you that a business might not work, or
that sucks.
From like online, maybe your socials don't pick up, things like that. Sometimes really can drive you down, but you have to just be aware of your positioning, where you started, how far you've come, just so you can keep moving forward. So always finding a place of gratitude to look back and see how far you've come really helps you to push forward once you face that adversity. That's how I've been treating the way that I deal with business and when those challenges arise. So
no, I agree. So when I said that sucks, I'm referring to, because you mentioned friends.
Yeah.
this is the thing, you end up spending less and less time with your family, friends, and like just people that you're closest to. And that's just because, as you know, like you're dedicating more and more time into your baby, you know what I mean? And it's just, I think somewhat you kind of like regret that, because you're like, at what point do I get to get that time back? When do I get to spend more time? And I guess we're just like trying to get away from that 9-to-5 job and live your own kind of lifestyle, so that you can do what you want when you want, and spend your time with who you actually want to be spending your time with. And I think that's also, as you said, with like negativity and everything, and realizing who's kind of willing to be there for you and who isn't, and the new friends you make who also want to support your vision. Like, that means the world, because you just know these people are real people, and like they're the people you keep around. Yeah,
it's really it becomes, when you start with business and you start sacrificing your time and dedicating it to your work and to your future, you slowly realize, and you start to weed out those friends who were only there for, you know, the things that they thought they could benefit from you. But like Liam said, you start to pick out the good ones, and they stick with you to support you through everything. And those are the people you want to keep around, because they end up supporting you in your business, no matter if it crashes, if it does well. Obviously, you hope it does well, but you have to be willing to make those sacrifices to begin with anyway. Because you're going to have to sacrifice sleep, you're going to have to sacrifice seeing your friends, you're going to have to sacrifice a social life entirely if you really want to make something happen. You know, you can do a business part-time, but how far is it going to get you? Yeah,
we've actually met a few people. You've met Gary Vee.
Yeah.
We've also met the Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Belfort?
Yeah.
The Wolf of Wall Street guy.
Yes.
Yeah, and like we've asked them for advice in terms of running businesses on the best and most effective way to do that kind of thing, just so that, I don't know, we're always just trying to learn off the best, and we see, I don't know, it's not about being filthy rich, it's just about
creating that
escaping
lifestyle.
Financial freedom. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Escaping financial freedom. What?
My bad. Yeah. So
I get it. That's
He wants to be on
What was
social.
What was it like meeting Gary Vee? Was it like a daily Vee that he does, where he does like the talk show?
No, it was a
conference.
It was a business conference where he came out to Melbourne to host an event at the convention centre.
Right.
I just managed to get my hands on a VIP ticket, so I was able to meet him personally and have a chat with him.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's where we learnt about marketing, because that's what we cared about at the time. We were just like, what's the key to marketing? Because as you know, he's a marketing guru. And so we were just like, what's the tip?
So that's cool. Yeah, I listen to him quite a bit here and there, and he's pretty good. Yeah. Wow. Had a lot of doubters, but he's proved everyone wrong. So
yeah, exactly. He was able to pick up on trends, from years ago.
Yeah, and now he's picked up on NFTs.
Yeah.
So we're keeping a close eye on that as well, and we're just seeing where that leads to.
Do you have any ideas for NFTs, or are you just like
wait and see? Currently, Eddie probably doesn't know much. I don't really know that much either, but I'm speaking to somebody who's dealing with it, and they've given me a contact, so I'm just learning through the process right now of what it exactly is and what it does, and how to use them and how to make money off them.
I honestly have absolutely no idea what they are. To me, they just look like internet Pokemon cards. That's all I see them as. I'm like, okay, this is the new fad,
Well, I'm just wondering how long it's going to last. Is it going to be a forever thing, or is it...
Yeah, I thought it was just a hype thing to begin with.
That's
why I just didn't pay any attention to it. And now it continues to grow and grow, so I think it's time to look into it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could probably look at it like the same way people look at like baseball cards or whatever. They still, for whatever reason, they still hold value or whatever.
Yeah, for whatever reason, but it does.
It's a piece of paper that costs like $4,000 or whatever. I don't know what the cost of them are. I'm not involved.
Probably 30 cents in China.
Yeah. Terrible. Anyway, Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me tonight. It was awesome.
No, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for having us on the podcast.
It's all great.
Yeah, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
So, where can people find you? How can they contact you? How can they do all those kinds of cool things?
we're on Instagram under Australian Cinematography. That's our website name as well.
Yeah.
And we've also got Australian Models. Simply just, those words, no underscores or hashtags or anything like that. Just
you'll find it.
Yeah.
And message us if you're looking at joining, either as a creative or a model. There are screening processes put in place, so we hope to have you a part of the agency and big things happen.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool.
Thanks,
We're
Brendan.
done.
Thanks,
Finally.
Brendan.
We can take a piss.
That's why you wanted to end it.
Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more videos like this, then please like, subscribe, do all that sort of social media stuff for the episode. That'd be great. And yeah, I'll see you next time.